As we as a company strive to take the complex and make it simple, Beacon is no different. We work towards continuous improvement so that we can enhance the application to make it faster and easier for both you as a counselor as well as the families you meet with. I'd like to walk you through a demo of those enhancements in Beacon today. While these enhancements are not significant changes to the process, we understand that some screens will look different. Once you see these enhancements, I think you will agree they are positive changes. In this demo, you will learn about added functionality of the hamburger menu, ability to group and ungroup customer contracts, the addition of the circle of protection that is dynamic based on selections, an enhanced review screen, and streamlining of the protection and payment options. Let's start with the hamburger menu. When you click on the hamburger menu, you will see a new option called About. When you select About, you will see that this is your one-stop screen for counselor and application information. You will see the basic counselor information for the person logged into the application, as well as the accessible locations on the left-hand side. And on the right side, you will see the current application version, the last sync, and the number of contracts waiting to be synced. You will also find a button in this menu called Send Logs. The Send Logs feature used to be at the bottom of the Welcome screen. We have now tucked it into the About screen, as it is not necessary to be visible to the customer. Moving on to the Customer menu, you may notice a light gray oval around the customer initials. This has no impact to the current funeral process. However, it is an exciting feature that will simplify the pre-need cemetery contract process. Again, this is only applicable once pre-need cemetery goes live in your market. Now, let's begin the presentation. These first several screens should look very familiar to you, as these have not changed. These are all the conversation screens that begin the presentation. You will notice at the end of the conversation screens, we have added the circle of protection. Now that you've told the family the importance of prearranging, this screen is a great visual for you to provide an overview of all the ways they can protect themselves by prearranging. The circle of protection can be accessed at any time through the customer menu. You will see later that the circle of protection is dynamically updated based on the selections made through the presentation. The only thing that has changed on the selection screens is the decline option. Now when you decline an item, you will get a pop-up saying that you have prearranged the item and you'll have to answer yes or no. Once I am done with all of the item selection screens, we see the circle of protection again, right before Secure. Now you can see that the circle of protection dynamically changed. What a great visual for your client to see all the ways they have protected themselves and their family today. All of the teal items were prearranged today during the presentation. If you recall, we declined the casket but said that we had already prearranged it. It is also teal but shows a lock and $sign to show that it has already been paid for. We also declined the TRPP or away from home, so it is showing as gray. This signifies that the item was declined, but it still is an option to prearrange at a later time. All of the white items are those that we have not made selections for. These items are showing white today because they are all pre-need cemetery and not currently available for you to prearrange in Beacon. However, that functionality is coming very soon. Let's take a look at the customer menu. Here at the top of the menu, you can see the circle of protection, which can be accessed at any time just by coming to the customer menu. Now let's go to the review screen. This screen has been enhanced in a couple of ways. First, you can now see the total balance on the right side of the screen. This was requested by many of you. We listened and have now added this feature. You can also now see pictures of the item selections on this screen. By clicking on the down arrow next to the item, you can now see the image selected there. You no longer have to go back to the actual item screen to see what the item looks like. Have you ever gotten frustrated having to re-answer the 3 questions at the beginning of the Secure screens? Well, good news. You won't have to do that anymore. Whether you move backwards to change an item selection, or switch your payment terms, you only have to answer the questions one time. Now that we are on the Protection Options screen, you can simply click the ellipses next to the customer name if you need to change an answer to a question. You can see here all of the answers I previously provided. Any of these can be changed. You will also notice on this screen that Pay in Full is no longer on the bottom right-hand side. We have now included the Pay in Full as a payment term, which can be found in the ellipses next to the other terms. The only other change on the screen, and it's a big one, is the bottom right-hand button. If you have more than one client, like we do here, this button says Next Client. This will toggle you to the other client to select their protection options in order to keep everyone in sync. Today's payment method also has a couple of enhancements. The first enhancement is the drop-down that allows you to select all or to select the individual funeral plans for each payment type. Now, since I have selected eCheck, I will continue on, and you will see a pop-up screen that asks if you would like to use today's payment methods for your recurring payments. If you select Yes here, you will bypass the screen where you have to enter the recurring payment method and go straight to client details. The final enhancements I'd like to show you are on the payment details screens, particularly the credit card screen. We have updated this screen in an effort to make it visually more obvious which payment method will be used, either pay by phone or Ingenico. I will go ahead and select Pay by Phone. Next, you are going to see the screen that has your primary phone number, your phone number from Pillar, that's been pre-populated. However, you can manually change this number. If it's correct, click Proceed. If you are offline, you would get the QR code to scan. However, we are online, so we will get a callback. On this next screen, you can see that we've combined the next couple of steps on one screen to prevent anyone from accidentally jumping ahead of a key screen. Here you will follow the prompts on the phone by entering the information displayed on the screen. Have you ever gotten stuck by not getting a callback number or by accidentally selecting the wrong credit card payment method? Now, if that were to happen, you could either select Call Again to reinitiate a call, or Start Over, which will allow you to change the number or switch to the Ingenico payment device. Finally, when you click Next Step, you will have a pop-up validation screen asking you, have all cards been successfully verified during the call? This is just a second check to make sure that a validation was received on the phone prior to moving forward. That concludes the demo of all of the new Beacon enhancements. We hope that you will find each of these enhancements very helpful and that you will continue to look to Beacon as your only method for pre-need sales going forward. You can begin practicing with these enhancements today, and I strongly encourage you to do so. All you have to do is log into Beacon Train and sync the application. The more practice you get with the enhancements, the more comfortable you will be once these enhancements are live in the Beacon production app. Don't forget that all job aids, training videos, and other helpful how-to documents can always be found by clicking on the Beacon logo on the North America Sales Insider page.